Okay, hello everyone. I hope you've had a good break. Today we're going to go into some texture painting, so let's jump right in. The first thing we want to make sure is that we just select all of our objects with either A or box select, and then just press Ctrl J to join them. We can then press F2 or double click on our object and just rename it something. You can choose any name you want for your character. The next thing we're going to want to do is to select the texture tab. It's a little red circle, and hit New to create a new material. You can rename this material by double clicking on it and naming it whatever you like. The first thing we're going to look at is the base color here. If you click on the white bar, you get this color wheel and you can choose any color you like. You might notice though that it's not actually updating in our viewport, and that's just because we're not in material preview mode. So make sure you select that first, and then you'll be able to see whatever color you are choosing. Okay, so that's great, but what we actually want to do is create our own base color. So if you click this little yellow circle next to the white bar and choose Image Texture, it'll go black. You can then hit New. You can name your texture, maybe color, something similar to that, and then change the base color to whatever color that you want the base of your character to be. You can then hit the blue OK button and you're ready to start painting your own texture. So the next step is to create a UV map. Now this can get pretty complex, but we're going to keep it simple. Let's just jump into edit mode, select everything with A, press U and choose Smart UV Project and hit OK. The default settings should be fine and we can go into texture painting mode. Now this is where the fun part begins. If you click and drag, you should be able to start painting on your character. Make sure that X mirror is turned on so you can paint the left and right side of your character at the same time, or turn it off if you don't want it to be uneven. If you hold shift, you can blur the edges of whatever you're painting. There's also a blur tool here, a smudge tool, and some other tools. Let's stick to the painting tool for now. You can change the color of the painting tool by coming up to the top here and just simply picking a new color. You can use the eyedropper here to sample a color. You can also find these tools in this little tool panel here if you want them up on your screen all the time. So now let's jump into a cheeky little time lapse of me just painting these little pink blobs and pink things on my character. This is just my design. You guys should paint whatever design that you have in mind and just do your best and have fun. Let's work on the colors for our character until morning tea break, and then after morning tea break we'll start rigging our character. Okay, let's start rigging. Together we should have turned on the Rigify add-on. Go to Add, Armature, Basic Human. Turn on X-ray mode, make sure we're in object mode, and also make sure we're in solid view. That will allow us to see through our mesh. We want to select the bones, go into edit mode, and then we just want to start deleting some bones that we don't want. So we don't need this heel bone. You can select it and just hit delete. Make sure X mirror is on so we delete the bone on the left and the right side. We also don't need these bones, and let's get rid of these spine bones in the middle here. We also don't need the shoulders, the upper arms, or the neck bones. The reason why we're deleting these is just because we want to keep our character as simple as possible. Let's grab the head and move it upwards. Put the end of it at the top of the head, grab the bottom and move it down to the bottom of the head, just like so. Next up, we're going to grab the arms And make sure that you have X mirror on, and make sure you select both of the two arm bits. Grab the end part and move it over. Grab the very end and move it out to the end of the hand. Just like this. Next we grab the two leg bones, move them out to the center of the legs, move the end down to the bottom and the top to whereabouts the legs meet the body. Move the bottom spine bone down to the bottom and up, and the center one to match. Just like that. Now if we look from the side, we just want to make sure that it's also in the middle of our character from the side view. Next, in object mode, select all of your objects, shift click the bones, and Control P and click automatic weights. This will assign your character to your bones. If you select your bones, go to pose mode, you should be able to move your character around. Now the results of automatic weight painting can be a bit unpredictable sometimes, depending on what your character looks like. If yours looks anything like mine, you should have an alright time, but if it's more complex or a little bit different than mine, you might get different results. I'll have a full weight painting tutorial in the Teams channel for you to check out if you do need to go more in depth with it. So again, selecting our bones and then jumping into pose mode will allow you to move your character around, and you can test what your weight painting looks like. If you are at this point, you are ready to export and you're ready to move on with your assessments. Yay! Make sure you do the best that you can and don't just do the bare minimum. You're ready to export. Let's do that now. One thing you will want to do is select your object and just remove any of these vertex groups under this green triangle menu that are toes or foot. Just click on them and press the minus and you should be good to go. So you're going to want to select everything you want to export. That's your character and the bones. And come up to File, Export, FBX. You want to change this path mode to Copy. Choose Selected Objects. Choose where to save your file and name your file. Untick Animation and hit Export FBX. If you navigate to where you saved your files, you'll find your color image and your FBX. Select them both, right click and just put them into a zip file. Now if your image didn't save, don't panic. If you come over to the texture paint tab, you can hit image save as and just manually save the image out. So don't worry if it doesn't work. So we're going to want to open and log into mixermode.com. You can log in with a Google account or your school account. We'll go upload character, select the character file, and choose that zip folder we just made. This should input your character with the colors. If the colors don't come over into Mixamo straight away, don't worry, it's just a visual thing. Still have fun picking out your animations and playing with your animations, and we can reassign the textures when we get our character into the game that we're going to make later. So congratulations, if you've managed to follow along, that is all you need to do for your assessment. Obviously, make your character your own and do as much as you can, just have fun with it and you'll do great. Great job guys.